It's Crosstown Classic week as the Naperville Central and Naperville North football squads are set to square off at North Central College. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Joe Kennedy, and I'm happy to see you once again for show number 6 as we have plenty of sports to be covered. Starting things off on the gridiron, let's head to North Central for that matchup between the Redhawks and Huskies.
The annual West Spencer Crosstown Classic between Naperville North and Naperville Central has arrived at North Central College. The Huskies come in with a 3-2 record after a much-needed win over DeKalb, while the Redhawks look to jump to 5-1 after a big road win at Neuqua Valley. On the Redhawks' opening drive, Jack Cook finds his best friend Chris Byrne, who juggles but hauls in the catch. Officials initially ruled it incomplete, but after discussion, Byrne had it in time before going out of bounds. A few plays later, Byrne and Cook continue to bring the fire.
Cook is going to do the play action, scramble to his right, gets the pass off, and it's going to bounce and diving in for the touchdown for Naperville Central.
The touchdown from Cook to Byrne gives the Hawks an early 7-0 lead. Central gets the ball back, looking to add some more, but Cook throws an interception to Luke Williams. North does lose some yardage on the return with the penalty, but it's Husky ball. North ends up punting, but Williams tries to fake and coughs up the ball, and Central takes over with great field position. In the second quarter, Central is in scoring mode, and here's a similar combo.
Here, action pass from Cook, and he's got an open receiver, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Redhawks. Again, they're going to strike 13-0, 11-13 left in the second quarter.
The Cook to Byrne combo has been the theme so far tonight.
Cook plus Byrne equals a 14-0 lead for the Hawks. Just when NC has the Huskies on their heels, Cole Arl says not so fast.
Upfield, he's going to cut up, and a big gain for Cole Arl, a much-needed run. He's going to keep going, a hesitation, and he's going to go in for the score. Cole Arl.
The much-needed 81-yard touchdown run for Arl cuts the deficit in half. Huskies are trying to score before the break, but Christian Kuda slams the door with the sack on Jacob Bell, and the Hawks keep their 14-0 lead at intermission. In the third quarter, the Dogs milk a lot of clock and try to score, but Bell throws an interception to Caden Scarr. The Central defense continues to give nightmares to their opponents. North doesn't give up when Cole Arl's in the backfield, as he takes the handoff and gets in for 6, and this game is tied at 14. Huskies use that as momentum by taking note of the Central defense.
For Naperville North, the pass is going to be short and picked off. Korosek with the interception. He's going to cut up field and get dragged down from Naperville Central. So
it's Naperville North football after the Will Korosek pick. They can't capitalize, but a strong Luke Williams punt puts the Redhawks deep inside their own territory. However, the Redhawks keep moving the ball, and Aiden Clark comes to the rescue.
He goes out of the 15, the 10, the 5. Clark reaches in for the score. I believe he is in. Aiden Clark gets in for the touchdown.
What a run by Clark. He would not be denied, and the 30-yard score puts Naperville Central back in front 21-14 with 32 seconds left in the game. Last chance for the Huskies with Bell throwing, but it's intercepted by Nick Zabilet, and this ball game is over. Naperville Central picks up a huge 21-14 win over Naperville North, and that improves their record to 5-1.
Waubonsie Valley football travels to DeKalb High School for a matchup against the Barbs. Both teams are coming into the game with a 1-1 record in the DVC as both squads look to improve on that tally. Starting the action not even a minute in with the Warriors on their own 40-yard line. Luke Elsey hands off to Tyler Threet, who tries the middle of the field before cutting back to the left, making his way down the sideline for the 60-yard touchdown. Dub V takes an early lead, 7-0. DeKalb's turn with the ball. Cole Latimer has the ball, stepping back, firing downfield, finding Davin Grant, who steps out at the 3. A huge play to get the Barbs into the red zone. Turning the big play into points, Latimer hands off to Mara Van Dudley, who runs in the tying touchdown. We are tied at 7 with 8:11 left in the first. The Warriors come right back down the field as Luke Elsey hands off to Christian Simmons, who makes his way through the crowd for a 20-yard touchdown. The Warriors regain the lead 14-7. DeKalb gives the ball back to Luke Elsey, who finds Tyler Threet in the middle. Threet carries the ball to the 30-yard line before being tackled. Once again, the Warriors capitalize in the red zone as Elsey hands off to Threet, who dives into the end zone. Dub V extends the lead to 21-7. Time winding down in the first quarter as Cole Latimer is looking downfield, but his pass is intercepted by Josh Tinney, giving the ball back to the green and gold. Carrying that play into the second quarter, Luke Elsey finds Brady Teeple, who walks in another Warrior touchdown. Dub V now leads 28-7. Later on in the quarter, Luke Elsey has the ball on the Barbs 35 as he steps back, throwing to the end zone, once again finding the hands of Teeple. The Warriors are cruising, now up 35-7. Final minute of the half, and DeKalb is looking for an offensive spark as Latimer finds Xavier Dandridge in the red zone. Finishing off the drive is Talon Tate, who leaps into the end zone. DeKalb trails 35-14 going into halftime. DeKalb with the ball now in the third quarter. Cole Latimer finds Xavier Dandridge wide open as the senior shows off his speed before being tackled at the 15. Turning the big run into points is the Barbs as Talon Tate sprints in his second touchdown of the night. The Barbs still trail 35-21 heading into the fourth quarter. Finishing the game in the fourth quarter with Luke Elsey picking out a leaping Brady Teeple, who sprints into the end zone for his third touchdown of the night. DeKalb would score a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, but it wouldn't matter as Waubonsie Valley walks away victorious with a 42-27 win.
Matias Valley football looks to get their first win of the year as they host Neuqua Valley on homecoming weekend. The Wildcats are looking to bounce back from a 21-7 defeat at the hands of Naperville Central, with their sights on a victory over a 204 rival. After a scoreless first quarter, Neuqua's ground game sets up Ryan Muller's pass to Carter Stair in the flats to give the Wildcats a 7-0 lead. Wildcats back on the ball, and Muller looks to air it again, but Matias Christian Lee speeds in for the interception to keep the game within one score. After forcing a 3-and-out, Muller sees nothing downfield and takes off down the right sideline, getting in to put the Wildcats up 14-0 a few minutes into the second quarter. A penalty keeps Matias pinned deep on the ensuing possession, and on third down, Lucas Van Vlera has nowhere to go, and Andrew Hoffman takes him down in the backfield. Neuqua finds success through the air again as Muller connects with Cooper Lehman down the middle of the field for a big gain. On second down, Matias Brady Jones puts some pressure on and sacks Muller, but he is given a flag for celebrating, negating the Wildcat loss. After the penalty, Muller targets Lehman again, who rises over the top of his defender and mosses him for a Wildcat score. 21-0 Neuqua with a minute left in the first half. Nico Carrier looks to get something going for Matias, but on the last play of the half, his pass is intercepted by Miles Miskell. He kicks it to the right side of the field as he takes the interception 72 yards for another Neuqua score. The Wildcats go into the half with a 28-0 lead, scoring twice in the last minute of the half. Early in the second half, Neuqua fakes out the Mustang defense, and Anthony Spezio scores to extend the lead to 35-0. That play was so successful that the Wildcats look to it again in the fourth quarter, and Spezio nearly scores, but he's tripped up at the 1-yard line. He would punch it in on the next play to take a 41-0 lead. Matias looks to air it out, but the pass is underthrown and Zorian Lemon seals the game. Neuqua shuts out Matias 41-0 and improves to 3-3 on the season and 2-1 in DVC play. Meanwhile, Matias falls to 0-6 on the year. When we return, we'll check out our first IHSA postseason highlights of the year as both boys and girls golf compete in regionals.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the two largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
He took his victims at night, and they were never heard from again.
We were there when true crime podcasts spiked your anxiety.
Maybe try binging something less intense next time.
We were there for that. And we're here for everything else. Here it's personal, because we get to know you.
Golf regionals continue, this time on the girls' side, as two of our area teams in Bennett Academy and Naperville North tee off at Bloomingdale Golf Club. Both teams qualified for sectionals last season, and the Red Wings also come in as defending regional champs. We start with the Naperville North's Alex Yeager on hole 3, who gets a par and golfs an 86, hoping that's good enough for a sectional spot. Up next is Audrey Simkis from Bennett, who also putts for par. Simkis goes on for a round of 84. Par seems to be the theme on the third hole, and Audrey Wake nearly flinches, but her ball still goes in. Wheaton North's Bridget Craig gets a good tee shot on hole 6. After a solid swing, her ball lands not too far from the pin and goes 1 under. Georgia Riley for Naperville North is in great position for par, and she cashes in. Riley golfs an 84. On the 9th hole, Jenna Schultz, who verbally committed to Michigan earlier this month, is showing excitement for the Big Ten with tee shots like this. Here's Craig, who puts all her might on the tee off, and the ball lands oh so close for the hole-in-one. What a shot by Craig, and she birdies the hole. She's the top golfer on the day for the Falcons, and second best individual on the round with a 74. Red Wings get more help, this time from Kerrigan Riley on hole 14. Her fairway shot does hit the grass at first, but gets onto the green. Still on the 14th hole, and Husky Addison Saganik is in for a long par, but is on target with her attempt. We are not done with her yet. Here she gets a strong fairway shot on the 18th hole, and her performance helps her, along with teammates Georgia Riley and Alex Yeager, qualify for sectionals as individuals. Then it's the Bennett Putaway Show Birdie Edition. Audrey Wake gets the birdie and golfs a 79, and then Schultz ends the round with the birdie and the top individual score at 70. That helps Bennett Academy take home their second straight regional plaque after a team round of 318. Boys Golf Regionals are here at the Naperbrook Golf Course, hosted by Naperville Central. The Redhawks and the rest of our area teams join Plainfield East, Bolingbrook, and Romeoville. All 9 squads are ready to tee off for their lowest scores with sectionals next week. Bennett Academy is back in 3A, and Charlie Davenport gets things going with a tee shot that lands on the green, which results in him parring the hole. His teammate Bill Tiarney follows along with a nice tee shot for himself. Tiarney also pars and golfs a 76. More Red Wings with a strong showing on the 4th hole. This time it's Nick Schroeder who pars and golfs a 79. Naperville North brings out the young guns as freshman Trevor Schmidt gets a nice shot from the sand that lands close to the hole. Then other freshman Zach Safer pars as well as Schmidt. Both Huskies along with junior Will Nelson all qualify for sectionals as individuals. Then there's Salil Kenduja doing his thing like he has all season. He gets a nice shot to the green and goes on to par. The par fun continues on the hole, and it's Vitria Nod as the lucky contestant. He golfs a 74, the lowest for Neuqua Valley. We got Emerson Zhang also wanting to have some fun on hole 4. Here he gets a nice long lag putt that doesn't quite hit the hole, but that won't bother his round of 75. On hole 10, Joe Cerny for Naperville Central chips his ball onto the green, and it takes a good roll. Cerny golfs a 78. Then there's his partner in crime, Matt Sims, whose fairway shot lands spot on. Sims goes on for a round of 75. Ryan Watson is looking for a strong regional, and this par helps him to a solid round of 77. On the 11th hole, Chris Wagner lines up for a birdie putt, and it's perfect. His 1-under attempt helps him to his best score of the season at 74. Staying on the hole, and here is Plainfield East top golfer in Griffin Mailhoit, who pars and scores a 77. To the 12th hole, and Arjun Iyengar helps out the Warriors with tee shots just like this. Iyengar walks away with a 77 as well. Davenport keeps up his intense stay as this par maintains his round of 69 right on the money, which is the second best individual score on the day. Parth Vora is lined up a little far back, but with this chip that takes a super long roll, the ball goes in for the birdie. That's one way to golf a 77, and he celebrates by pointing to our camera guy. Ryan Kong also hops in on the birdie fun, and he sinks it. He, Joe Cerny, and Matt Sims all qualify for sectionals as individuals. Bennett continues its strong showing, and Finn Riley comes oh so close to the pin. Not to worry because Riley still putts his way to a good round of 74. That's the third best score for Bennett, behind Davenport and Luke Donovan. Matias Valley gets 3 individuals moving on to sectionals, and Charlie Flaherty is one of them after golfing a 78 thanks to a strong finish on hole 18. Kenduja ends his day with no surprise a par, and as the top golfer in the regional with a 68. But team-wise, it's Bennett Academy taking the regional by 4 strokes. Up next is sectionals at Whitetail Ridge.
Coming up next, we'll give you this week's feature story on how one man impacted the Naperville Central and Neuqua Valley football programs.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Experience all the fun and magic of being part of a television show audience. Join NBC5's Stephen Holt as host of NCTV 17's The Morning Show, Thursday, November 16th at 7:30 at the new Matrix Club on Route 59. Hear stories that heavily impact our own community, plus raffles, a game show bit, and more excitement. So rise and shine with NCTV 17's The Morning Show.
Tom Schlegel was a Naperville Central football grad and a Neuqua Valley football coach. A group of Schlegel's friends and coworkers remember his legacy every year. Patrick Cotto has more in our latest feature story, sponsored by Edward Elmhurst Health.
In 2015, Neuqua Valley joined the DuPage Valley Conference alongside Waubonsie and Matias Valley. The move ensured that the Wildcats would play head-to-head against Naperville Central on the football field every season. To commemorate the new rivalry, the Wild Hawk Trophy was debuted that fall in honor of Naperville Central grad and Neuqua Valley teacher and football coach Tom Schlegel. Since passing away from cancer in 2006, Schlegel's memory lives on through his friends, family, and the football programs that meant the most to him.
Tom was a dear friend of mine growing up in Naperville. He and I graduated from Naperville Central in 1978. He was also a coach, baseball and football coach here at Neuqua for several years, and he passed away in 2006, unfortunately, and we donate our game checks to Tom Schlegel Scholarship Fund, and we just have a blast doing the game. It's fantastic.
Referee Jim Schrank and his officiating crew made the trip down from Minnesota to officiate the game in Tom's honor and have done so since the Wild Hawk Trophy debuted in 2015. Schrank and Schlegel both played football at Naperville Central. Schlegel and current Neuqua Valley head coach Bill Ellinghaus were assistant coaches in the program together from the late 90s until Tom's death. Even with Tom not around the Red Hawk and Wildcat sidelines, he will always be there in spirit.
Tom's shining down on us right now. I mean, Tom Schlegel was a phenomenal guy. His kid's going to be here to do the coin toss with us, so that's exciting. Tom gave a lot to football, but gave even more to his community and to his school. So it's just a great honor to honor him in this regard.
Tom's son Sam also made it to the game to do the pregame coin toss before the Redhawks and Wildcats take the field to battle for the trophy itself. Sam was a former student at Neuqua Valley and is excited that both programs and Schrank's officiating crew are continuing the tradition.
So I was really excited about the football aspect of it, but then having the piece of them honoring my dad really meant a lot to me and my family, and we're super grateful that still Neuqua and Central are allowing this thing to go on. So
Neuqua Valley has helped make sure Tom's memory is well preserved with the Tom Schlegel Memorial Fund, which awards annual grants to Neuqua Valley seniors who are pursuing careers related to physical fitness. Memorial concerts, 5K races, and donations like this one given by Jim Schrank and his crew have helped fund the scholarships over the years. Since the inaugural Wild Hawk Trophy game in 2015, the Redhawks won 3 out of the first 4 contests before Neuqua Valley won 3 in a row heading into this year's matchup, which is always competitive on the field.
It's great football. So it's well coached, well played, clean game, and it's just fun being out there with the kids. It's wonderful high school football.
We want to win every game no matter what. And you know what I mean, the rivalry that we have kind of developed, not just over the trophy, but just playing Naperville Central and 2 schools in Naperville. I mean, it's become a nice little rivalry and a healthy one.
After the Wildcats controlled the rivalry over the Redhawks in recent years, it's the red and white finally lifting the trophy for the first time since 2018.
It's huge. We were talking about this all week. We prepared for this. This was our biggest game. Before the season even started, we were like, Neuqua, we circled them and we wanted them and we took it to them today.
With the win, the Redhawks have evened up the series at 4-4. Schlegel would certainly appreciate how tightly contested the annual clash has become and the high level of play on the gridiron. Through friends, former colleagues, and the rivalry trophy, the legacy of Coach Schlegel will carry on for many generations of Redhawks and Wildcats. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Our boys play of the week for show number 6 takes us to Matias Valley as the Neuqua Valley football team faced off against the Mustangs. Junior wide receiver Cooper Lehman comes up with a spectacular catch for the touchdown. About a minute left in the first half, Wildcat quarterback Ryan Muller drops back and surveys the field. He lobs one into the end zone where Lehman makes the leaping grab over the defender. Just a great contested catch, which helped bring the Wildcat lead to 21-0. Let's take one more look in slow motion as we can see Lehman elevating and mossing the defender for the score. Neuqua went on to win 41-0. We'll wrap up today's show after the break with some action on the soccer pitch, and we'll close with our girls' play of the week.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
Do you want all the most exciting highlights from your student-athlete's high school career? Relive all your favorite stories and moments from the past few seasons of Naperville Sports Weekly by purchasing digital downloads. Visit nctv17.org/shop to order today.
It's senior night for Waubonsie Valley boys soccer. It's also a clash of rivals as the Warriors welcome in Neuqua Valley for a late season DVC matchup. Starting 8 minutes in as Abraham Tiburcio's clearance goes straight to the Neuqua offense into Ricardo Robledo, who chips the ball into the back of the net. A tough start for the Warriors as they trail 1-0 early on. Later on in the half, Dominic Landado plays a ball into the path of Ryan Mulligan, but before he can get a shot off, Abraham Tiburcio slides in to clear the danger. Neuqua looking to double their lead late in the half. Ige Tunar makes his way into the box getting a shot off, but Tiburcio makes the save. Dub V looking for one chance before halftime as Emil Nichani flicks the ball into the path of Lucas Garcia, but quick off his line is Nick Verone, who basically sits on the ball to shut down the opportunity. The Wildcats lead 1-0 going into halftime. On the opening kickoff of the second half, Cade Valek sends a long ball over the top to Lachlan Ladd, but his shot goes just a bit high. Ladd with a corner now for the Warriors. He sends it in, finding the head of Beckett Stotler, but Nick Verone is quick to collect. 15 minutes to play in the half. Lachlan Ladd picks up a loose ball, making his way to the top of the box, firing on net, beating Verone. The Warriors tie the game at 1. Just 4 minutes later, Andrew Tidro sends in a cross from the short corner, finding Justin Sinise, who tucks the ball into the far corner. Just like that, Neuqua retakes the lead. The Warriors are pushing for another equalizer. Lachlan Ladd shows off his skills with a Cruyff turn, sending in a cross, finding Eric Moravlio, but his shot is saved by Verone. Last chance of the game for Waubonsie. Beckett Stotler puts a ball into the box that hits the head of Tristan Mayra for an easy save for Nick Verone. Neuqua Valley holds on, winning the game over Waubonsie Valley by a score of 2-1.
This week wraps up our sports coverage for the month of September, and with that, we'll have our first Play of the Month poll. Visit our website to vote for September's Play of the Month. It's postseason play in IHSA Golf, and for our Girls Play of the Week, we'll head to Whitetail Ridge Golf Club. Naperville Central's Poppy Marusin comes up with a clutch putt on the first playoff hole. We see Marusin setting up for her biggest putt of the season as she has to make this in order to keep the playoff going. She locks in on the reed, and once the ball starts rolling, she tells it to find its home in the cup. It's a huge par for Marusin as she went on to win the playoff on the following hole and secure a spot in sectionals. Looking at the putt one more time as the ball rattles in for par, Marusin joins teammate Ashika Patel at next week's sectional matchup. That will wrap things up, and thanks again for tuning in to today's episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. You can find all of our highlights from the season, as well as feature stories and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV 17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and I'll see you again next week.